Welcome to the listening window, where you can practice English by listening, repeating, and slowly falling into a story. Today's story is called The Letters I Never Sent. In this quiet, emotional journey, a woman begins to receive love letters she doesn't remember writing. Each one pulls her deeper into a past that may not entirely be her own. Repeat after every sentence, and don't forget, you can read and practice the full script by clicking the link in the description. Now, let's begin. My name is Eliza. I'm a bookseller. I spend most of my time lost in the world of stories, not my own. Or at least, I used to think that. Everything changed the day I found the first letter. It was tucked inside a copy of Wuthering Heights, wedged between pages 73 and 74, folded into a neat square. The paper was old, the edges soft with time, but the handwriting was unmistakably mine. The letter began, "You will never read this, but I will write it anyway, because loving you felt like holding my breath, beautiful, impossible, and never meant to last." I stared at the words. They were familiar, painfully so, but I had no memory of writing them. I flipped to the back of the letter. No date, no name, just the signature, E. Me. I didn't tell anyone. Not at first. Who would believe me? The next day, I found another one. This time, it was inside a second-hand poetry collection, tucked behind a Sylvia Plath poem. Same handwriting, same voice. Today you smiled at me, and I forgot how to be lonely. There were 27 letters in total. I found them over 3 months. Always in used books, always in my shop, always written by me, but never remembered. And each one, each single letter, was addressed to the same person. Ben. The name unlocked something in me. A flicker, a shiver, a feeling like I'd forgotten a song I used to hum in the shower. Ben. But I didn't know a Ben. At least, not anymore. I searched my old journals, my photos, my phone backups. Nothing. No Ben, no mention, no face, no contact. It was like he'd been erased. But the letters kept coming. Some were romantic. You kissed me like I was already gone, and I knew I was. Some were painful. If I could choose again, I'd still find you, even if I knew I'd lose you. And some were terrifying. They told me not to write this, but I can't forget you. I won't. That one made me pause. Who was they? I decided to dig deeper. One night, I stayed late in the shop. I closed early, locked the doors, turned off the lights, except one lamp near the poetry shelf. I sat with the letters spread out in front of me, reading them in order, again and again, until something strange happened. One of the letters glowed, not brightly, just faintly, like ink warming under a black light. I held it up, and beneath the original writing, a second message began to appear. "You're starting to remember. That means it's almost time. Come to the bench. The one by the old train station. 6 p.m. November 12th. I looked at the calendar. It was November 12th, and it was already 5:17. I don't know what made me run, but I did. I grabbed my coat, pocketed the letter, and dashed out into the cold. The old train station was just a few blocks away, abandoned for years, now just a garden with overgrown tracks and rusted benches. And when I got there, he was waiting. Ben. I knew the moment I saw him. The eyes, the way he smiled like he'd been holding it in for years. Like he wasn't sure he was allowed to be happy yet. We didn't speak right away. We just sat. Finally, I asked, "Did I write them? The letters?" He nodded. "You wrote every one, but you asked to forget." "Why?" He looked at his hands. "Because they said we couldn't be together. Not like this." "Who are they?" He hesitated, and then said, "The archivists." My breath caught. He continued, "They monitor memory timelines. People who remember too much, who cross into memories that don't belong to this version of them, are considered unstable." I blinked. "You're saying I'm unstable?" "No," he said. "You're remembering someone you used to be." I stood. This is insane. But even as I said it, the truth pulsed inside me. Warm. Familiar. I had chosen to forget, because loving him came with a price. Reality itself had to bend. Ben looked up at me. "You have a choice," he said. "You can go back to forgetting. Your letters will disappear. Your life will return to normal. The story ends." He reached into his coat and pulled out a small device, a smooth, black stone with a glowing line. "Or," he said, "you can remember everything. Me. Us. Even the pain." I didn't answer. I just reached for the stone. The moment my fingers touched it, I saw the bookstore we opened together, the house by the lake, the night we said goodbye because the memory police were closing in, the kiss in the rain, the promise whispered at the edge of time, and finally, the moment I told him, "Hide the letters in the books. One day I'll come looking." And I had, just like I said I would. Thank you for joining me for this emotional journey on the listening window. Now it's your turn. Pause the story right before Eliza touches the memory stone. What would you have done? Would you choose to remember or to forget again? Share your ending in the comments. Let's build this story together. And if you want to read and practice this full story, click the link in the description to download the script. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to get notified when the next story appears. Right here, behind the listening wind.